Hi everyone, welcome to Maven with Moxie. I'm Melinda, a dog mom with a planner and some budget goals. So today we are going to do color with me on our debt tracker update. So I have not been great about recording this part, but I thought it might be something fun you all might enjoy following along. For every debt that I have in my regular budget planner, which I record every month with you all, I also created a section in this Clever Fox planner, and each card, or each debt I should say, has its own section. I'm tracking payments, and I have kind of a payment plan, if you will, for each one. And so I have created little color with me sections as well. I am not an artist, but it is motivating, and I kind of did it on the fly early in the year. So yeah, maybe not my best work, but I still like it. They're all phrases that are just designed to motivate me in this process, and some of them are getting colored in quite a bit, which is super exciting. So I thought I would take you along on my color with me. First, I'll go through sort of the debt tracker. So again, for each debt, they have their own section, the monthly payment made, and then the balance that exists after that payment. These two have been on FlexPay the whole time. No interest ever accrued. So I'm always paying the full balance on those because they're really low, and I intentionally keep them really low. AMS is a medical bill that I have been on a payment plan for a year now. And so I'm down to, this is where it was when I started the beginning of the year. That wasn't the starting balance of the actual expenses, but that's where I started in January. So I'm down to $164.49. So I definitely have some coloring I can do on that one. Prime, we're just doing minimums on Prime, TJX, Credit One, Kohl's. Those four I have not moved the needle. So we're just doing minimums while I try to work on the others. Care Credit has a pretty big leap down from when I started the coloring aspect. In January, it was $3,800, but it's now $4,700. It's a little confusing because I keep adding medical expenses every month, but they're all on payment plans. So this card has never had any interest on it, even though that amount looks high. Southwest is getting minimum payment. My car loan is almost paid off, so we're definitely coloring that today. And the personal loan, I don't have a tracker for because that's such a huge amount. I know that one's going to be with me for several years. So I don't have a tracker for that one right now, but that's okay. We're starting where we're at with what we got, right? So let's go ahead and color in. I've already marked how many sections I can color for each section. So we'll just go ahead and start with that. So grace wins. Again, these are just phrases that kind of came to mind that I thought would help encourage me as I look at these pages every month. And it's all about grace, not perfection for me this year. I've gotten myself into some predicaments, and they're not great, obviously, but I am trying to give myself grace as I move through this whole process, recognizing that I didn't get into this spot overnight, and I'm not going to get out of it overnight, right? So we just take a deep breath and we keep pushing. And I do know I'm making progress, and that makes me feel great because like I can look at these sheets and be like, oh my gosh, my HSN amounts are nearly paid off. I have a whole bunch that I can color in on this QVC card. So that is going to be completely paid. And I've never paid any interest on these cards because when I make a purchase, I always use the store card so that I can do their monthly pay plan, which is usually 5 months. Sometimes it's even 6, and then it's interest free for that amount of time. And I'm only purchasing things, honestly, a lot of what I've been purchasing on there in the last year was Christmas gifts. And then I've bought a couple things that my mom really wanted, and I put those on my card. And so I'm not doing a lot of like frivolous expense or purchases for myself. It's more for others, but I love that I'm not having to pay interest on them by using that card. And look at us go, because we are almost completely paid off. And you'll notice on this one, I had a goal payoff of May 15th. I underestimated when all of so because they're on flex pays, they come in based on the date that you ordered it, or maybe it's the date it was sent or whatever. Anyway, they're different days of the month. Well, one of them was just behind the date of the statement coming out, and so it was on this next month's statement. So I think it's $3.77 or something really, really small that I still will owe on my June payment, but that's no big deal because then Sparkle More will be completely colored in. Super exciting. And we have quite a bit we can color in for Boldly Bloom. And this is for my medical expense. And again, this one also has no interest on it. That's the one great thing about several of these cards, or not cards, they're not all cards, but several of these accounts and debts, is that I haven't really paid interest on several of them ever. So it's just the balance itself. And so when I make a payment, it is actually making a pretty big impact because I'm not also fighting interest that's accruing on those. And so I'm really working to be steady on making those payments, keeping up with those amounts so that I'm not adding another account that has interest. And eventually I'll knock out the interest ones too, but we don't get to fill in Prime, TJX, Credit One, or Kohl's right now. Care Credit, we have one section here that we can pay down. And the reason I came up with the idea of the one section is because the starting balance, while it was higher than the current balance, how do I explain this? In my mind, it makes sense. I had already decided $271 per section. When I counted up these sections tonight, I had 2 extra sections. So technically that gave me a buffer of some extra space over what was initially my starting balance. So I'm working off of 271 per section. And so I got to color in a section, which is exciting. We won't be making any coloring choices on Southwest. And then we do get to color another section of our car. And then Future Rich is coming my way. When I was coming up with all of these phrases, like I was just playing with words mostly, as you can see, but things that I thought were fun. And I was like, rich would be a good one to put in there. What goes with rich? And I was trying to come up with all these like phrases, but obviously I just landed on Future Rich. And it's going to be the first one that's fully colored in. Next month we'll get to finish that one off. So that'll be so exciting. And then there we are. Just one step closer, y'all. One step closer. So thank you so much for joining me. And this is motivating to me. This encourages me. It makes me stay true to the course, know that I'm making a dent, even when it feels like sometimes I'm not. Especially with these other cards that have no movement. But I know that once these are done, that money starts flowing into these. And so we'll slowly get there. We will get there. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your support. And if you have a moment and could like, comment, and subscribe, I would so appreciate it. I'm really trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of June. And just like my debt, it's sort of, one day at a time, one video at a time. And if there's certain content that you'd be interested in me showing about my debt journey or anything budget related, please let me know. I'm open to learning and trying out new videos. So please share with me. I would love to connect with you. And as always, please remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Have a happy day. Bye.